Hi, I'm Laara Raynier with Mastercutter Academy. I'm here live in New York City with my great friend of a long, long time, Edward, the wonderful, the iconic legend himself, Edward Tricomi. And I wanted to interview Edward for quite a while because, in my opinion, well, he was my mentor too. With long hair, I worked with Edward together. I didn't even know how to hold a blow dry till I met Edward. And he's the master, the absolute best with long hair, layering, face framing. I don't think anybody personally holds a candle to Edward when it comes to long hair. And so I wanted to interview him and get some great questions for him. And I want to say hi.
Hi. Hi, guys. I'm glad to be here.
How are you today?
I'm good, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How's business?
Good. Yeah, we're coming along little by little.
Yeah?
Just regrowing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so I got a few questions.
Sure, go ahead.
And these are questions that I think people would really be interested to know. Personally,
Okay.
I am.
Okay.
Okay, so I want to know, number one, what's been the driving force throughout your whole career? What's the driving force?
Well, before I was a hairstylist, I played music. I played drums, guitar, piano, and all of this, and I was a musician. And I became a hairdresser really by default. My sister said, you can come and work with me on Saturdays, earn a couple of dollars, and that's how it started. When I went there and I said, all these beautiful girls, it's not a bad job,
Right.
So I started to do it. I went to school and got my license and all that, and I started to work, and I first started in Brooklyn. Then I moved to the city, and when I moved into the city, I worked for a salon called St. Andre, and
Right.
St. Andre was the Studio 54 of its day. So it was, my first client there was Salvatore Dali. So, and St. Andre's had a very different flair than, say, Sassoon.
Of course.
They were polar opposites.
Right.
So, St. Andre is sexy and wild, so Sassoon is cool and sophisticated. So the two polar opposites of what the vibe is on how they work. And I worked for St. Andre's and I started my career, and I started to shoot magazines and do all of that. And what really drove me was the art. Because to me it's all about the art. I always have a very famous saying, here's the art, the shadow is money. If you chase the shadow, you'll never have the money because you can never grab a shadow. But if you chase the art, the money follows it.
Exactly. Oh my God, we have to write a book on that.
Oh yeah, it's just
self-help.
That's just one little thing.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is that I approach my salons and my career sort of like I approached when I was on stage. So all the training I got from being a musician, being on stage, playing music, doing lighting, this, that, so on. All my salons, and you can testify this, they're probably the most beautiful salons in the world.
Yeah.
And I'm not just saying that to
And
say it, but they truly are.
How many salons have you got?
We have 6 in the United States and 23 around the world.
Wow.
So there are 3 in Japan, and there are 14 in India, and then we have the 6 in the United States.
Wow.
So those are franchises, and then these are not. These are owned by us.
The ones in America.
Yes, but still the designs and level of design is still the same.
I see.
I oversaw everything.
I see.
So it's, again, like Stage said, there's sight and sound and smell. So you got lighting, right? You got physically what the place is made up of.
Right.
You have the smell of what we use, the smell machines in here and things like that to give it a great vibe.
Right.
Sound, I curate all the music, so the music will curate.
Right, me too.
So I'm dressed every day. When I come to work, I look like a person.
Right.
I don't come ever looking like a slob because
That's so important.
See, imagine, I always say, when I joined into coiffure, hairdressing thing, they interviewed me and they said, what do you do with your salon? And I said, listen, imagine you go to see the Lion King and the lion doesn't want to get dressed, and he's on stage with a bottle of Coke, smoking a cigarette, right, and he has the costume on. It doesn't work. So you want to be so it's all a visual medium.
Yeah.
So to me, it's sight, sound, and visual has to all work.
Right.
So that's how I incorporate when I'm working in my salon. So I look physically great, salons look great, they smell great, clients then are in an atmosphere that's conducive to beauty
Right,
at
exactly.
a very high level. So,
Right, got to be the high level.
let me just go on with this for a minute.
Okay, all
All
right.
right, you can edit what you like, but I work for Vogue magazine, so I cut my teeth with Vogue magazine.
Uh-huh.
So when you work at that level of Vogue, Italian Vogue, which is the best Vogue of all, is Italian Vogue, and I work with some of the most iconic photographers in the world: Deborah Tuberville, Guy Bourdin, Helmut Newton, Pan, Avedon. I mean, I've worked with everybody, and I've worked with the biggest designers in the world: Valentino, Saint Laurent, Gucci, Dior.
Who's your favorite
blah,
designer
blah,
that you worked with?
I love Valentino. I used to love him. He was really cool. And I liked Ungaro too. Ungaro was very nice. So I worked and I've done all these big mega shows. And I mean, Victoria's Secret, that look, I originally gave them that look. And then my guy Italo kept up that whole campaign that they had for years. So there's a lot of things that I've done over the years, real trend-setting things that I've created and done. When you have all that back, all that knowledge, all that's all there. So when I go to cut somebody's hair, all that knowledge, all that background, all of that's there,
Right,
incorporated into what I'm cutting.
right.
So what turns me on? It's still an art thing.
It's all
It's
exactly.
still an art thing. And,
Yeah.
and as I'm cutting,
Right.
I'm listening to music and I'm
Yeah.
translating what I'm hearing in sound because I'm a musician into the haircuts.
Right, right. Good.
Because you know I cut hair like Edward Tricomi, you know, like
Yes.
people know about this, about how that all started. That's a great thing also to talk about for a minute. I was raising money for AIDS and we were doing benefits. So I put together a performance art piece
Uh-huh,
where I cut hair to Led Zeppelin.
uh-huh.
So,
Oh.
which I can give you a clip of it.
Stairway to Heaven.
Stairway to Heaven, which starts off slow,
Yeah.
begins and builds in the middle and goes really crazy,
Uh-huh.
you know, and then it's at the end. So, because I'm a drummer, that's where the Edward Scissorhand thing comes
All
in.
right.
But what they're actually doing technically to the hair is putting abstract layers in. And what does abstract layers do for hair? It makes hair look natural.
Uh-huh.
Because anything that's in a random form looks natural.
Uh-huh. Right, yes, yes.
So yeah, I know you
Yes.
got more questions, so get
Okay, so I just want to go through that because, like, I teach precision haircutting classes, and right now I'm #1 in the world for private classes and teaching. And this is something I tell all the hairdressers that come to me, that they must have high standards, that it is fashion, it's beauty, and what they look like when they go into that salon is so important.
Absolutely.
It is prime
You don't want to go see the
importance.
Lion King without a costume.
Exactly.
Lion King.
I love that. I love that. Okay, so yes, so it's really, really important. And as Edward said, he's got super high standards, and that's what you get.
And a hypness factor.
And a hypness, yes.
No, hypness factor, I call
Hypness
it.
factor.
And why you have to have a hypness factor?
You do, yeah.
You have to have
You
that.
have to have
and,
it.
And, you know, really good friend of mine, Debbie Mazar.
Oh yeah,
Debbie
that's
Mazar had natural style.
Uh-huh.
So, you have to teach Debbie. I know people that they just have natural style about themselves. You know, they have to put it together. They just have an eye for it or a feeling for it. So you have to have a hypness factor.
Yeah.
And you have to try to incorporate that hypness factor into those clients.
Into your haircuts, yeah.
Right.
Without a doubt, yeah.
Right.
Especially when they've got a great personality and they can carry it off.
Well, you have a lot of choice, and like you say, you teach precision haircutting, and there's a place for that. I'm more like the Rolling Stones. You know, Keith says, you know, when they interview Keith, they always say to Keith, you know, so, who's the better guitar player, you or Ronnie? Because Keith said, well, Ronnie probably says he is. But I tell you, Ronnie and I are better than 10 other guys.
Right.
So I might not be the best cutter in the world, whatever. I'm probably not.
You want, yeah.
But let me tell you, I'm definitely better than 10 other guys.
Exactly.
Right. And my cutting style is sort of like the Stones. It's loose. It's not very precise. It's based more on vibe and feel than it is to precision. But it's
your.
Wait, no. But let me say because it's imprecisely precise.
Exactly. I was just gonna say that because if you don't have that foundation,
You gotta have a
then
foundation.
you
I mean, I
gotta-
gotta cut like that until that's not the
Yes,
point.
no, but your haircuts, they do. They have that movement. One piece doesn't go without the other. There's movement.
There's a run to the crazy.
Yes, exactly. I mean, come on. Look, we've both been in this business like 40
Oh,
years.
yeah, oh, yeah.
You know, I've known you 35, 36 years.
More. I know you're longer. I know
Yeah.
you 40 years.
Is it that long?
Yeah, since you worked for Roger Thompson, I know you. Again, anyway.
Yeah, I know. I remember. I mean, we hung out.
Okay,
you
and
know?
Brian and all of us. Anyway, what's the next question?
Okay, the next question is, what's your greatest asset?
My greatest asset
Asset.
as far as to be professional?
Yeah, just as a person in your
Oh, as a person, my son.
your son.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
my greatest asset.
oh, that's great.
That's and my wife. Those
Yeah,
are my greatest
Deborah.
assets. My
Yeah,
family.
yeah. Okay, who or what is your inspiration?
Inspiration comes from watching somebody walk down the street to some of the biggest scientists like I love a lot of physicists. Stephen Hawking comes to mind, and other people. Inspiration comes from all over. So
Okay.
yeah, it's not
All right.
any one thing.
Okay, this is a really good question.
Yeah, I've got.
How do you maintain being at the top for all this time? How do you maintain that? Like if people are watching this and they've got a business and it's doing good, how do you maintain this level of success?
I always say you're only as good as your last haircut. That's
Uh-huh.
the first thing, right? And
Right.
Then, it's like Mick says when he goes on stage, I got to do a good job. Keith says I have to wake up, but I do a combination of both. But it's really I'm only as good as my last haircut, and it's a joy for me to cut hair. It's not a job. So
Yeah,
it's not
exactly,
really a
yeah,
job.
it's not a
So
job.
I'm having fun.
Yeah.
Right, and I love to have fun.
And the music
So-
is
and the
great.
music
And
part-
you've got great people to work
right.
on.
And the environment should kill us.
And you attract who you are. You
Right.
attract great people. Like I've got amazing people that I attract.
Yeah, because you're good energy.
Yes,
You're music.
yeah, exactly. You know, and I've got super high.
Laura and I have traveled together. We've been to London together and other things. Anyway, so what's
Yeah.
the next question? I got to roll it along because
Okay,
I
okay,
have
okay.
people out here.
We're rolling along. Okay, names a few things that you absolutely love about hair. Just a few things.
I love the fact that it can be changed,
Oh yeah.
and I love the only thing you can depend on in life is change.
Yeah.
So I love the fact that you can change things with it.
Yeah.
You don't like it this way, you can mess it up.
Yeah.
Maybe do something else with it. So that's what I love.
Okay, what's the number one ingredient needed to be successful?
Drive.
Drive. I agree. I
Drive.
agree. Okay, and I asked you, who's your favorite designer that you worked with?
Well, again, I would say Valentino.
And what do you think of like now? What do you think of everything now that's happening in the business and hair and fashion?
Well, I mean, listen, the technology is terrific today. Thank God we have this technology,
Yeah.
and it's never been better.
Right.
So each generation that comes in is set up with a different set of challenges that they have. But barring those challenges, you've never had it better.
Yeah.
You have Google, YouTube, with all these ways of getting knowledge and inspiration. Like back in the day when we had to get it, I had to get it out of a book, go to a library, go to a magazine, research, and buy this. But right now, at the tip of my fingers, I can find out anything I want about anything. I want to Google how to make a braid, great. I want to Google how to make an updo, I can do it. So you never had more. You've never been a better time than right now.
Right, exactly, I agree.
So,
Okay, so I'm gonna wrap it up now. What we're gonna do, I'm not announcing it today, but Edward and I are gonna do a workshop, and he's gonna do long hair, and I'm gonna do bobs.
Okay.
And
And we can explain our techniques and how we think and how we go about it.
right, and so
Great.
so when we're doing that, I'm gonna announce it, and like right now, I'm really thrilled that we did this. I think this is really great, and we'll do some more.
Okay.
We'll do some more. We'll talk more in depth next time about actual hair and why we do what we do and what we're looking for.
Shoots and sittings and what I thought about certain things. I mean, I have
Yeah.
hundreds of photographs that we bring into.
And also, how to consult. That is so important. And all the people that come to me for training, they do not have a clue how to consult,
Right.
how to make suggestions. They don't even know how to look at a person. They don't even realize they're working with hair, some of these people.
Well, you have to have, look, there's a lot of, this is the last thing I'm gonna leave you with. Think of a bicycle wheel. Each spoke represents a different strength. Social skills, the way you dress, your manners, your education, your technical ability. Any of those things are short, the wheel will bump.
Yeah,
bump it.
you don't, yeah.
So all of them have to be strong,
Yeah,
especially your social skills. Have to
Yeah.
be really good.
really
Because
good.
you can be the best guy in the world. If you have no social skills, you're not going to get ahead.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
I got to run. I got
Okay,
lunch,
all
yeah.
right, thank you,
guys.
thank you, love
See
you,
you-
thank you,
see you
God
soon.
bless, bye.